Hey everyone, welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to get into artificial intelligence today.
Oh, cool.
Like how it actually stacks up against, us humans, which
Yeah.
is always a fun one.
Yeah.
And
Always a lot of debate about that. Yeah.
it is there's a lot of like hype and headlines out there, right?
Yeah.
But we've got some research here to kind of like break down some of the, maybe separate fact from fiction. And
Awesome.
I'm joined by expert speaker. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So this Tech Target article that we're looking at here kind of gets into some of that, that debate, but it really starts off by saying, look, you can't really compare the two.
Yeah.
Like it's apples and oranges.
Exactly.
You've got AI and you've got human intelligence, and they're just different. They're not, you can't say one's better than the other.
Right. They're different tools for different jobs, really.
Yeah, like a hammer and a screwdriver.
Exactly.
Right, you're not going to use a hammer to put in a screw.
That's a great analogy.
So let's get into some of these differences then.
Okay.
One of the things that the article talks about is this idea of one-shot learning,
Yeah.
which basically means like, as humans, we see one leopard, we're good to go.
Right.
We know what a leopard is.
One example, and you've got it down.
But AI needs like thousands, millions of data points just to even start to grasp that concept.
It's true. AI is really data hungry.
Right.
Like it needs to see tons and tons of examples to really get a handle on something.
Which is wild because you think about like how our brains work.
Right.
Like, we can extrapolate from very little information.
Exactly. And it makes you appreciate just how complex and efficient the human brain really is.
Absolutely. So then that kind of leads into this other area where humans seem to have a bit of an edge right now, and that's imagination.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Because AI as it stands can kind of remix things that are already out there. Right. It can take, what it's learned and synthesize it and come
Yeah.
up with new variations, but it's not really creating something like totally novel and new.
It's true. Like AI can write a poem based on every poem it's ever read.
Right.
But can it come up with a completely new style or genre of poetry?
Right.
That's a tougher question.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing of like, AI can write a pop song, but can it invent jazz?
Exactly. It's about that spark of true creativity and originality,
Right.
which humans seem to have a knack for.
And that's something that's really important when we think about the challenges that we face in the world today.
Absolutely. We need those creative solutions.
Climate change, all this stuff.
Yeah, we need people who can think outside the box,
Right.
come up with brand new ideas.
Yes. Okay, so this next point from the article, I found this really fascinating. And this is the whole idea of like multi-sensory experience.
Okay.
So like AI right now, for the most part, it experiences the world through one sense at a time.
Right. Like a language model processes text.
Right, exactly.
What?
ChatGPT, give it text.
Exactly.
But humans are experiencing this constant barrage of sights, sound, smells.
Right, the full sensory experience.
And our brains are somehow taking it all in and making sense of it and creating this like cohesive experience.
It's like the difference between reading a restaurant review and
Mhm.
actually being there,
Right.
tasting the food, smelling the aromas.
Exactly. You don't get the ambiance.
Exactly. AI is still catching up in that regard.
Totally. So we've talked a lot about what humans are good at, but to be fair, the article does point out that AI has some pretty impressive strengths as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think, one of the biggest ones is just its ability to process data.
Right. It's a data crunching machine.
AI can analyze massive amounts of information in the blink of an eye.
Way faster than any human could.
It can spot trends and patterns that would take us, lifetimes to uncover.
And that's where AI can really shine as a tool for augmenting human capabilities.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like imagine having an AI assistant that can analyze all your past projects
Right.
and tell you what worked, what didn't.
So you're not just guessing anymore.
Exactly. It's about data-driven insights.
Okay. Yeah, I like where this is going.
Right.
And speaking of efficiency, the article also points out that AI never needs a coffee break.
That's right. No time for chit-chat around the water cooler.
This thing is working 24/7 on whatever task you give it.
The ultimate multitasker.
It's like the ideal employee.
Right.
Never gets tired, never complains.
Exactly, yes. Sign me up for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got, this AI that can crunch numbers and work all day long. What does that leave for us humans to do then?
Well, that's the thing. The article makes it really clear. This isn't about AI replacing us.
Okay.
It's about this idea of human AI teaming.
Okay. I like that.
So we bring our unique strengths to the table.
Yeah.
Things like creativity, critical thinking, empathy.
Right.
And AI can kind of handle the heavy lifting the more tedious tasks.
Okay, so it's less about, robots taking over and more about robots being like really, really good assistants.
Exactly. Like imagine doctors who can spend more time with their patients
Okay.
because AI has already analyzed all their medical images and lab results.
Right.
Or architects who have more time to focus on the creative aspects of a design
Okay.
because AI is taking care of the technical drawings and calculations.
Right, so it frees us up to focus on the things that we're uniquely good at.
Exactly.
FF.
And the article really stresses that as we continue to develop AI,
Yeah,
we need to do it responsibly
right.
with a focus on ensuring these technologies benefit all of humanity.
Because ultimately, we're the ones who get to decide how this technology is used.
Exactly. We're not just along for the ride.
Right.
We have the power to shape the future of AI.
And that's kind of what this whole deep dive is about,
Right,
right? Like the
right.
more we understand about AI, its potential, its limitations, the better equipped we are to make those decisions.
Knowledge is power.
It is. It really is. It's like, remember when the internet first came on the scene?
Oh, yeah.
People were freaking out. Nobody knew what it was going to become.
Exactly.
And look at us. Now we've figured it out. We've adopted.
We found ways to use it to our advantage.
Right. It's become this incredible tool
Exactly.
for communication, for education, for everything.
It's a great analogy because AI has that same potential.
Right.
It could revolutionize every aspect of our lives.
So what does all this mean for, the person listening right now?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is, what are they supposed to do with this information?
Right.
Where could AI potentially fit into their life, their work?
What are they curious about?
Exactly what excites them, what scares them.
These are the conversations we need to be having.
And we don't have to have all the answers right now.
Absolutely not. This is an ongoing process.
It is. It's like we're building the plane while we're flying it.
Exactly. But that's what makes it so exciting.
It does. It's true. It really is kind of like we're figuring this out as we go, right?
Yeah, it's uncharted territory in a lot of ways.
Which is both exciting and a little bit scary.
For sure.
Yeah,
But that's how it always is with new technologies, right?
right. It's our job to make sure it goes well, though.
Absolutely. And that all starts with understanding.
Right, making informed decisions.
Exactly. And having those tough conversations about what we want the future to look like.
Okay, so on that note, I think that's a good place to wrap up today's deep dive.
Yeah, I think so.
We hope this is giving you some food for thought.
Lots to think about.
Some things to think about when it comes to AI and its role in our world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And hopefully spark some curiosity too.
Right, because like we've been saying, the future is unwritten.
Exactly.
Oh.
We get to decide what it looks like.
So until next time, keep those questions coming.
Keep exploring and stay curious.
And we'll be back with another deep dive soon.